Hello, and welcome to today's episode of the Vibrate Higher podcast. I am your host, Joelle, and I wanted to talk to you today about another concept that came about as I was journaling. Every time I am in the midst of dealing with something in my own life and I'm journaling it out, I get such a perspective to bring it to my podcast tribe. Have you ever had a season where you knew you were doing the work, showing up, doing the healing, trying, but still felt like the results were trickling in? That is exactly how I was feeling today when I started this particular journal entry. So I had such a good, juicy aha moment that I couldn't help but share it. I did a podcast episode a while back called The Middle, and it was all about the space between where you are now and where you want to be. I am still in the middle. I think a lot of us are still in the middle. This episode today is almost like the middle 2.0, but it's about being further on that path. Going back and listening to that episode may make this one resonate with you even more. And if you did listen to that episode, this is going to really resonate with you right now. Lately, I have been really pulled into the feminine archetypes and delving into a lot of the work that Mel Wells is doing. She has a really good deep dive course that I've been taking called Feminine Force. We spend an entire month in each archetype. This morning, I was taking one of the modules. I had this download today. And I've been noticing lately, since I've started unpacking that course, that Spirit is sending me a lot of parts work. I've been drawn to doing a lot of parts work on myself, pulled to do it a lot with my coaching clients as well. All of that, I think, is divinely guided in the sense that today I felt another part of me click into place. It was a bit of an aha moment. If I look back over the past year, I found myself being super critical and judgy of things that have happened. I was judging, why don't you have double the clients you already have? Why didn't the course you put out sell out? I was really beating up on myself and questioning, well, you're doing all the work. Why hasn't any of that happened for you? What's going on? What's broken? What are you doing wrong? Reevaluate. And I just had the most gentle, nudging aha. That in that moment, I immediately had a knowing and an aha that said, you don't have double the clients, and you didn't sell out on your first course or have a webinar at max capacity because at that time, you were not the version of yourself that could hold that type of success. When I heard that truth drop in and felt the clarity, like the aha that I wasn't actually doing anything wrong, I was walking through the process, I felt my entire body exhale. How often do we associate delay with failure? The truth is, I feel closer to that version of me that can hold that success today than I ever felt. And I was still questioning my progress. And when I look back at a year and a half ago, when I made the decision to pivot from corporate life into solopreneur, I was not equipped emotionally. Although I knew better, there was so much of me that I have learned in the past year that needed to be unpacked that I wouldn't have known if I didn't step into that journey. There were parts of me that had to heal and grow to become that woman, to match that version of me's frequency, how she approaches her business, how she approaches her income streams, her relationships. So I want to ask you, where are you still judging your progress instead of honoring your evolution? I think a lot of times when we have desires and it doesn't pan out when or how we want it to, we just default to we weren't good enough for it or we did something wrong. And really what the base of it is that we just haven't fully become the version of ourselves that matches that desire. So if there is something that you want and you have not achieved it yet, it's truly only because you have not become the version of yourself that can hold it. That's just to say that you are still becoming that version of yourself. As an example, if my desire was to be a course creator and I had this goal of making $100,000 a month from the courses that I create, and so I spent my time creating amazing content for these courses, titles, lead magnets to drive traffic to the course. But internally, I struggled with visibility. So I never showed up fully. I didn't show myself. I didn't add value to my followers on social media or to people that I met in person. I didn't allow people to see how passionate I was about the topics I'm creating the courses about. Then I am not fully the version of myself that is going to put out a course that is going to sell out quickly and garner me $100,000 a month consistently, because no one knows who I am as the instructor, as the course creator. And so I'm saying that to say, if you are someone who has big dreams, or they may even be little dreams, but they're just opposite of where you are now or who you are now, I'm challenging you to ask yourself, what part of you has not caught up with what you were calling in? I want you to anchor yourself in the fact that you actually have to be a different version of yourself. If you are listening to or watching this podcast, you are a person who does the work. You want to do the mindset work. You are showing up. You are doing the inner work. You could be coming down on yourself because you aren't fully realizing all of the things yet. But I want you to recognize that there are parts of you that are still being shed and healed to catch up with what you are calling in. It's a makeover of sorts of different parts of yourself that are needed. And when you watch somebody go through a makeover, you have hair, you have clothes, you have makeup. There's a process of becoming in that makeover to get you to this transformed person. And that makeover of the outdated version of you is required in order to have and sustain the things that you're calling in. And that's not only a spiritual concept, that is quantum, that is energy and frequency related. And it's just a matter of understanding that this is a journey. It doesn't have to be a long journey, but it is one. Give yourself some grace, knowing that you are actually calling forward that next level version of you. Every time you uproot an old belief or pivot from a negative thought or forgive yourself, forgive someone else, every time you heal the wounded parts of you, reflect on this piece. If you were to meet your future self today, what would they thank you for working on right now? And I want the answers of that question to give you peace and perspective as you continue to evolve. Remember that you are not behind, you are becoming. Every healed belief, every brave decision, every moment of uncomfortable growth is all a part of matching the frequency of the person you are meant to be. You will get there, but please enjoy the journey and allow it to be what it is supposed to be. I hope you are vibrating higher now than when you first started listening to the episode. Do me a favor and rate this episode. That helps my platform grow. Please also forward this episode to anyone you know it will resonate with. Send me a text. Let me know how you felt about this episode. If you loved it, I read all of your text messages. I love when you guys send me your notes and the thank yous and all the positive feedback that you send. It's been so great. I love you all. I wish you love and light, and I will talk to you soon.